Hey folks, welcome to another Triple T Thursday. For those just joining us, that's Tools, Tips, and Talk, where we'll discuss info for the knife maker. In today's episode, there'll be a whole bunch of things that we're going to talk about. The first thing is going to be how to finish full tang handles, and not just the handle material, but also the tang, especially if it's a Damascus knife. So we're going to cover that. I'm going to do a bunch of thank yous for some supporters of the channel. We're going to shout out all of them, and I'm going to show you the project that I have coming up. Also, this weekend, this Sunday's build is going to be the 100,000 subscriber giveaway knife. So make sure you check that out because you will have a chance to win that knife. Also, tonight, I'm taping this Wednesday, I am going to be on the Knife Junkie podcast. I'm not exactly sure when it airs, but I'll put it in the comments when I find out. So check that out. You'll hear me talk about my past and what's coming up on the Knife Junkie podcast. So let's go down to the table and I'll talk about the project that's coming up. So this is going to be an upcoming project that I'm working on. You'll probably see the build video for this maybe next Sunday. But this is for my ABS Journeyman presentation test. This is knife number 2. This is an integral bolster hunting knife. So this is a Tang 84. So you'll see more of that soon. I really like how it's coming out, and I just love the integral bolsters. So they're fun to do. Now let's talk about finishing full tang knives. The knife I'm going to show you is the 100,000 subscriber giveaway knife that you're going to see in the build this Sunday, so don't miss it. Let's take a look. So here we are. I've sanded the handle all the way up to 1,000 grit, just like before on the full tang handle. Of course, you got to be careful to do the actual tang as well. So every grit, I'll go and I'll do the tang and make sure that the tang is nice and shiny. This is a Damascus knife, so also we need to etch the tang, so we're going to go and do that. First, I'm going to buff the handle.
One thing I should mention here, I've completely taped up the blade so that I don't accidentally hit it with the buffer. Because it's Damascus, I don't want to rub off that pattern.
If this was just a regular monosteel knife, I would just do the wax and be done. But this is a Damascus knife. So what we're going to do is etch the tang here. And that's important because it just kind of looks hokey, in my opinion, if you don't do this. And if it's light colored wood, what you can do if you're worried about staining the wood with the acid is that you can put clear nail polish on the wood and just leave the tang exposed. I'm not worried about it on this one because it's a pretty dark wood, so it's not gonna have any issues. You need to just usually let this sit a little bit. And you can see sometimes it'll bead right off here, so you really have to just keep going over it and over it. Okay, that's pretty good. So now I'm going to go clean this a little bit with some water and make sure I spray it really well with Windex, just to make sure I don't get any acid left over. Because you want to make sure you get this all off or you're going to rust your blade. So now I'm going to hit it with a heat gun. Just heat this up a little bit and then I'm going to apply some wax. Now I'm going to hit it with a little bit more heat. Now we're just going to shine it up, and we're all done.
And sometimes I like to just put a little touch of mineral oil on it. That really brings out the color and just makes it pop. There you go, folks. Really beautiful handle. Love that wood.
Since I'm coming up on the 100,000 subscriber mark, I thought it would be a good time to say some thank yous. First of all, to all of you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for checking out the channel and watching the videos. I still feel like a guy in his garage just doing stuff, and I'm amazed that people watch, so thank you. I want to thank Broadbeck, my sponsor that supplies all my belts and abrasives. Go check them out. Really the best belts around, particularly their Incinerator 36 grit belt. It'll outlast any belt on the market, period. Best abrasives around. So go check them out. Link down in the description. Also, I want to thank Oleg Bashkovich, who supplies all my handle material. Amazing stuff. If you haven't seen his stuff, go check it out. His website is also down in the description, knife-wood.com. The best stabilized material I've ever used. And all of the handles that you guys look at and go, wow, that's so amazing, that's all his stuff. So go check it out. I want to thank the guys at Contender Machine Works for sending me that multi-axis rest and really working with me on some of the changes for it. And I'm going to do a video coming up on that after I've used it a while. And it's really become my regular rest, my day-to-day rest for my machine. So I'll talk about that. But if you want to get one of those, links also down in the description. Lastly, big thank you to Brian House and all the guys at the Work For It podcast. Really my favorite podcast, the one that I definitely try to listen to every week. The guys are super entertaining. And go check out Brian's channel, his YouTube channel, House/Work. Links to all those down in the description. So big thank you to those guys. Not only do they keep me entertained, but they're really good friends. So go give them some love as well. Thanks for joining me, folks. Hope you got something out of today's episode. We'll see you on the next one.